Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, there are many ways to get ahead of your opponents. One of the most important ways to do this, however, is by using shortcuts around the track. I will be using and going over some of these cups and tracks and explaining the shortcuts that they contain. I should explain, however, that there are many ways of using shortcuts, and it is either through careful drifting or using a boost item. So, to get this little video thing started, let's start with the first cup, the Mushroom Cup. The first track in the Mushroom Cup is Mario Stadium. It is a pretty straightforward track, with a few boosts that you can use. On the first turn, if you have a boost item, you can boost over this grass and get over it. On the second turn, there are some ways that you can get over this grass, but if you have a mushroom, you can boost over it, like in the last shortcut, or you can use a well-timed drift, like this, and hop a few times to get over it. It will ultimately cause you to lose a bit of speed. You will, and should, be still ahead of many people, as you will be skipping a portion of the track. The next shortcut is this ramp off to the side. If you have a boost item, you can boost over or to it. You can also attempt a well-timed drift, like the last shortcut, with a little bounce to get there. It is a bit difficult, but it is possible. The next shortcut is near the end of the track. There are multiple ways of using it. If you have a boost item, you can pair it with a drift to get through these pipes and make the turn much shorter. You also get a purple boost from the previous massive turn to fly over this entire piped area. Both of these are pretty hard, and I would recommend practicing before you attempt it against friends or family, as if you mess up, you could be behind many of them. Those are the big shortcuts in Mario Kart Stadium, and now we will get on to Water Park. Water Park is even more straightforward than Mario Kart Stadium. This is because there are very few places where you can even get a shortcut, namely, one area. Towards the end of the race, after the large turn, you could get a boost item to pass through these spinning cupcakes. If you time it correctly, you get through them. If you don't, you'll bang into one of the cupcakes. So, don't bang into a cupcake. This will allow you to get a bit farther, a bit faster, and skip some of the turns, and hopefully, some of your opponents. As I said earlier, that is the only shortcut in the map. The rest of it is carefully using boosts to get around. And so, as such, I will go on to Sweet Sweet Canyon. Sweet Sweet Canyon has two major shortcuts, and one big tip that I can give. Firstly, on Sweet Sweet Canyon, there is a point where you can split into two paths, a blue and a pink path. Pink path is the fastest. During one of the big turns with Fudge, if you drift correctly, you can skip on to the end of the blue path, making it a tiny bit faster. Next shortcut is a donut. There are two ways of doing this, one much harder than the other. If you have a boost item, you can drift and boost through this hole and pass through it. If you are really good at drifting, you can drift, get a blue boost, and jump right before this rough terrain and attempt to clear the donut. This can be a bit difficult, so I would recommend practicing before using this shortcut, as the same as what I mentioned with the Mario Kart Stadium shortcut. If you mess up, you really mess up. Now on to the final track of the cup, Swamp Ruins. Swamp Ruins contains a few shortcuts. Firstly, right at the very beginning of the map, before this massive turn, there's a ramp that you can reach if you have an item. If you use the item, you can get a pass, and you can pass up the entire first turn. The second shortcut only opens up after a certain point in the race. When you notice wheels start to fall and roll in the first cave section, you may notice in the first area with swamps that there is a blue boost panel. This will only open up at a certain time in the race, so that could be your second or third lap. So if you are able to use it, it will boost you over the entire water section. You can get a little bit faster than your opponents. The next one is that if you drift correctly at this point, specifically right after the second tunnel, you can jump this small gap. Finally, there is this ramp just outside the map. If you are able to hit it, you will gain an advantage over your opponents. If not, you will fall really far behind. So take it at your own risk, but make sure that if you can take it, you should almost always take it. Those were the shortcuts of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Mushroom Cup. In my next video, I'll be going over the shortcuts of the Fire Flower Cup. If you could help me out, I would really appreciate it if you could like my videos, as I said, it helps me out. Thank you so much, and have a very wonderful day.